I'm not really that much of a gamer, but my friends are pretty consistently always playing NBA 2K17, like I'm doing right now with Jackson and Joe. They hardly ever miss watching a live basketball game either, so I picked up on the basics at the very least. The concept of the game is pretty simple. You choose either a team that actually exists, or you can make your own with customized players. There's a tip-off at the beginning, your team and the opposing fight for the ball, and then the game progresses as any other basketball game would, though it takes significantly less time, since you can skip through timeouts and half-times. You have defense and offense, and you can use the controller to switch between players, alternating between shooting baskets and trying to get the ball from the other team. The goal, clearly, is to win your game with the most points. But 2K frames itself as a basketball experience, and with that freedom comes a diverse array of ways to play the game. You can go into the playoffs and attempt to win a title, you can play in the open world setting where you design shoes and go through the players' stories, or you can just play the game with no stakes besides winning and losing. With the variety of the video game, NBA 2K17 is, of course, as diverse as its real-life mirror. Also in regards to the physicality of the players. How do you guys think virtually playing NBA 2K players impacts your ability to experience watching live games in reality?
It's kind of weird because when you play a game, you have like complete control. You have agency over, a real life person and player that you watch in real life, especially if you're a fan. So it's very strange to when you're not thinking about it, it's not. But it is kind of strange to have like autonomy over their body and their decisions in a game. And then watching them in real life, sometimes you can it gets funny that you get frustrated that they don't do something that you really want them to do, if that makes sense.
In real life or in the game?
In real life and the game. I mean, it's like for example, that certain people can't make certain shots or they can't do this or that. Like, you just know that this doesn't happen in real life. And that happens and you get frustrated because, the game isn't realistic.
What do you think, Joe?
Game makes it so that you know more what realistic basketball is. And so when playing the game, you both want it to be as realistic as possible, but you also want to succeed as best as possible. So I think watching basketball and knowing what realistic basketball is makes it a little bit harder to play 2K.
It is interesting that the concept of 2K17, and really any kind of sporting game or game rooted in realistic experiences, stems from the ability to control players in this virtual reality form who actually exist in real life. Considering basketball is such a racially diverse sport, the concept of their bodies belonging to the person playing as them in the game is also another mirror of reality. We monetize their agency, despite their often millionaire status, and take away their autonomy as people with opinions. This happens in real life too. The game and the teams, and by extension the players, are owned by a person or a group of people. But ultimately, they're stripped of their self-governance as human beings with opinions on subjects that don't involve basketball and sports. They're shoved out of politics, education, issues of race and class. Our capitalistic tendencies contribute to this monetization through concepts like sponsorships and team owners. How do you guys think the 2K franchise reflects the commercialization of basketball?
Well, there's always a question when talking about sports, what is commercialized, what is for the sport. I don't know. I think the game, I feel more connected to basketball playing it for sure, but at the same time, I definitely don't feel like it's commercialization. You know, I mean, you're just selling these rights and the game. I mean, it's just kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely feel to an extent, there's a huge commercialization, especially for sports games, where they want you to buy it every year and they make it seem like it's so much better. But really, they don't do much to change, and you just want the new rosters, which also kind of plays into how these people are just basketball players, and that's the only way that they're seen. Which is like also kind of about NCAA sports too, where they can't make sports games about them because they aren't allowed to use their likeness. So like I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I guess it means NCAA athletes aren't just seen as athletes because they can't make money, or if it, means that they're only athletes because all the school cares about is the money that they make for the school. So I think that there's something to be said both ways with that, but I guess in relation to 2K, there's definitely a huge commercialization of it.
And so ultimately, 2K17 is a game that reflects reality. And as such, it adds to the experience of being able to watch basketball while also playing basketball, even if you're not particularly athletically apt. It is a fun game. It's been fun playing it, though the controller really throws me off. I don't like all the buttons and stuff. I'm not much of a gamer. But it has been fun, and it's been a really interesting look at how the game impacts real life experiences playing games, especially considering that I've been to live basketball games as well.